I never thought a simple wooden box could hold the power to change everything I knew about my mother. It was one of those rainy afternoons where the world outside seemed to pause. The sky was heavy with gray clouds, the sound of raindrops tapping against the windows creating a steady rhythm. I was cleaning out the attic, something I had been putting off for months, when I stumbled upon it, a dusty, weathered box tucked away in the farthest corner under an old quilt. At first glance, it didn't seem like much. Just a plain rectangular box with faint carvings that had faded with time. But as I lifted it into the light, I realized those carvings were not random scratches, they were symbols. Strange, swirling patterns that seemed almost alive when the light touched them. My fingers brushed over the surface, and an odd shiver ran down my spine, as if the box was silently whispering to me. It was locked with a small brass latch, but the latch wasn't ordinary either. It had a tiny engraving of a bird with its wings. Spread wide, and beneath it, a single number -17. I didn't know why, but the number sent a ripple of unease through me. My mom had always avoided talking about her life before she married my dad, especially anything from her teenage years. And yet here was a box that looked like it had come straight from that forgotten time. I decided to take it downstairs. Maybe it was just filled with old letters or keepsakes, nothing unusual. But the weight of it in my hands told me otherwise. It felt heavier than it should have been for its size, as though whatever was inside carried more than just physical weight. I set it down on the dining table and stared at it for a long moment, debating whether I should even open it. Just then, I heard the sound of footsteps behind me. I turned to see my mom standing at the doorway, her face pale, her eyes fixed on the box. She didn't say a word at first, just stared, and I could swear I saw her hand tremble slightly. Where did you find that?" she asked in a voice that was barely above a whisper. I told her it was in the attic, hidden away. She stepped forward slowly, almost as if she wanted to take the box away from me, but couldn't bring herself to touch it. "That's not yours to open," she said firmly, but there was fear, real fear in her voice. I asked her what was inside, but she only shook her head. "Some secrets," she said, "are better left in the dark." And just like that, she turned and walked away, leaving me alone with the box and 1,000 questions screaming in. My mind, that night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, the image of my mom's face when she saw the box flashed in my mind. That wasn't the look of someone surprised by a random object. That was the look of someone confronted by a ghost from their past. Her words echoed over and over. Some secrets are better left in the dark. But what kind of secret could make her react like that? By morning, my curiosity had only grown. I decided I wouldn't open it just yet. I wanted to observe my mom first, to see if she would bring it up herself. At breakfast, she avoided eye contact with me entirely, her spoon stirring her coffee for far too long, her shoulders tense. When I casually mentioned cleaning the attic again later, she immediately interrupted. "Don't touch anything else up there," she said sharply, then softer tone. "It's just dusty. You could get sick." But I could see through her flimsy excuse. The rest of the day felt strange. Mom kept checking her phone and glancing toward the attic stairs, like she was expecting something or someone. At one point, I caught her standing in my room while I was in the shower, and I knew she had been checking to see if the box was still there. That evening, after she went to bed, I took the box to my room and sat on the floor with it. My fingers traced the carved patterns again, trying to make sense of them. They looked like a mix of vines and spirals, but hidden among them, I noticed something new, small letters, so faint they were almost invisible. I tilted it toward my desk lamp, and the words emerged. For when the truth is safe, I felt a strange pulse in my chest. Safe? From what? I ran my fingers along the latch, remembering the bird engraving and the number 17. Could it be a code? A date? My mind kept circling back to the thought that maybe, just maybe, my mom wasn't the person I thought she was. Just as I was about to put the box away, I heard soft creaking from the hallway. The door handle turned slowly, and my mom's silhouette appeared in the dim light. Her eyes went straight to the box in my lap, and for a moment, I thought she was going to shout at me. But instead, she stepped inside, closed the door, and sat on the edge of my bed. Her voice was low, almost trembling. "If I tell you what's inside," she said, "you can't ever repeat it. Not to your father, not to anyone." I nodded, my heart pounding so loudly I was sure she could hear it. She reached out and placed her hand on top of mine, the box between us. Her hand was cold, her grip tight. Then she whispered, "It's not just mine. It belongs to someone who doesn't want to be found." At that moment, I realized the secret in this box wasn't only hers. It was part of something much bigger and much more dangerous than I could have imagined. Her words hung in the air like smoke, heavy and suffocating. "Someone who doesn't want to be found?" I repeated, trying to make sense of it. My mom's eyes darted toward the window as if she expected someone to be listening. Then she leaned closer, her voice barely more than a whisper. "I was 20 when I met him," she began, "and I shouldn't have. He wasn't from here, wasn't from anywhere you could just visit. He came and went like a shadow, always looking over his shoulder." I stayed completely still, not wanting to break her fragile willingness to talk. She continued, "The night before he disappeared, he left me this box. Told me that if I ever opened it before the right time, I'd put myself in danger. I thought he was being dramatic until the night our house was broken into. My chest tightened. Someone broke in. When? Why didn't you ever tell me?" She shook her head. "Because nothing was taken except a box that looked just like this one. I thought it was the box. But weeks later, I found this in my closet, tucked inside an old suitcase." Her eyes were glassy now. That's when I knew. They'd stolen a decoy, whoever wanted the real one. They didn't get it. My mind spun. A stranger, a stolen decoy, and a warning about danger. I felt like I was trapped in a mystery novel, except it was my life. I reached for the latch, but my mom's hand shot out and stopped me. Her grip was iron. "No," she said firmly. "If you open it now, they'll know." "They always know. Who will know?" I asked. My voice was sharper than I intended, but she didn't answer that question. Instead, she said something that sent a shiver down my spine. "If you open this box before the 17th, someone will die." I froze. "The 17th? That's only 4 days from now." She nodded slowly. "And that's when the truth will be safe, or at least safer." Before I could press for more answers, a sudden knock at the front door echoed through the house. My mom's face went pale instantly. She stood up, tucked the box under her arm, and whispered, "Stay here." Then she slipped out, closing my door behind her. I heard the low murmur of voices, hers and a man's, deep, steady, and unfamiliar. My curiosity overpowered my caution, and I crept to the top of the stairs, peering down just enough to see. There, standing in the doorway, was a man in a dark coat, and in his hand he held a box, identical to ours. I froze at the top of the stairs. That man's box was the same size, the same pattern, the same strange lock as my mom's. My heart pounded in my ears so loud I thought they could hear it downstairs. The man spoke first, his voice smooth but carrying a weight that made my skin crawl. "You have something that belongs to me," he said. My mom didn't flinch. "You're mistaken," she replied, her tone calm but sharp as a blade. "I don't make mistakes," the man said. He glanced briefly toward the hallway, toward me, though I was sure he couldn't see me from where I stood. A 17th is coming. And when it does, the wrong hands could destroy everything. My mom's shoulders stiffened. It's safe until then, she shot back. Not if you keep talking, the man warned. Then, without another word, he turned and walked away, vanishing into the night as if the shadows swallowed him whole. When my mom closed the door, she leaned her forehead against it, breathing heavily. I came halfway down the stairs. "Who was that?" I demanded. She turned slowly, her eyes shimmering with a strange mix of fear and determination. "Someone who's been looking for this box for a very long time." I swallowed hard. Then why not just give it to him? "What's in there that's so important?" Her gaze locked on mine. "Because inside this box is the truth about your father." The words hit me like a punch. My father? I'd grown up believing he had died in an accident when I was a baby. There were no photos, no stories, nothing. My mom never spoke of him. She nodded. "He didn't die. He disappeared to keep you safe. And this box holds what he left behind, proof of who he is and why powerful people would do anything to find him." My knees felt weak. I stared at the box, suddenly feeling like it was alive, pulsing with secrets. "And the 17th? I asked. "That's the day. He told me you'd come back for it." She whispered, and in that moment I realized the box was never the end of the story. It was the beginning.